I know you're a diehard President Trump fan. I know you're a big fan of his, and you campaigned for him and all that stuff. I've heard you getting up there. You open up for him all the time, which is beautiful.
Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah. Trump. He's my favorite.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Why do you think? Sometimes you sit there and you say, "Man, I can't stand that person. That person is da 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 da." And then, shit, maybe am I wrong myself? Maybe that guy's not as bad as I think that guy's. Fuck, there's no way in the world I can say anything good about him. No way. If I do, God forbid if I do, right? Okay. Do you think, every family, has that one tough guy in the family. And when that person is alive, nobody does anything stupid. Do you know what I'm talking about? Every family has it. You have it. I have it. We all have it, right? It's an uncle, it's a grandfather, it's a father, it's somebody.
Is the bully?
He's not the bully. It's not the bully. It's the guy that doesn't allow the bully to bully. That guy. Okay. It's the guy that
protector. You mean.
Yeah, it's like the protector. It's kind of like you don't want to wake that guy up. Like, that one scene from Christopher Walken in a movie says, every once in a while, the lion is sitting there, and they come and pull him, and they do this, and they do that.
The hyenas are biting his ankle.
Every once in a while, the lion has to wake up and tell everybody. Because everybody knows what the lion is capable of.
Yes.
Right? This is why people put on their house sign that says what? There's a vicious dog, in the back, or this house believes in the Second Amendment. Whether they have a gun or not, the person that's trying to rob the house is going to say what? I don't want to go and rob a house that may have a gun in there, right? Mm-hmm. So that sign avoids conflict.
Yes.
Why do you think, Bassem? I'm so curious to know what kind of an answer you're going to give to this. Why do you think during Trump there was no war, no conflict, and we were expecting to see World War III under him? Why do you think?
I have no idea. And I think because maybe Trump, as much as I don't like him, he was kind of business-oriented. He said, I'm not going to... How much will that war cost me? No, I'm not going to do that. So maybe that's the one thing. And that's kind of something to be good on his behalf, although I'm not a big fan. I have a problem with other policies. But, I don't think... Yeah, maybe that's the only thing. But
Bassem, what about...
Let me stay on this.
Go, because I was going to ask a question, too.
Because, okay, on the spending side, it's going to cost us money. He's a business. That's an interesting perspective. But, okay, how about this one? How about the fact that, he says, hey, you have a button, I have a bigger button. Hey, you do this, I know exactly where you are right now, and I can destroy you. I would much rather not. How about the fact that he put the fear in people that wanted to bully and take advantage of other people, so nobody did during his time?
Maybe, but you also have to remember that COVID came in right in the middle.
That was 3 years later. That was 3
No,
years.
that was actually...
2.5 years later.
Yeah, but
The first 2.5, or still, if the COVID came, that's even a bigger opportunity. But
I have no clear answer. I'm the only thing is this is going to cost us money. I don't want to spend money.
But you know what, though? You're a smart guy and a reasonable guy. Because for me, if I were to sit there and say, what did Clinton do? I voted for Clinton. The freaking last time we had a balanced budget, him and Newt Gingrich worked together, right? Mm-hmm. So, what did Reagan do? Reagan and Tip O'Neill would go have beer together afterwards as two Irishmen. They would fight throughout the day, but at 6 o'clock, they're at the bar sitting there having a drink together, right? You don't have to like the enemy or somebody that maybe policy-wise you disagree with. You may say, I don't agree with them on pro-life, pro-choice. I don't agree with them on blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with them on this. But holy moly, the temperature was super low during Trump than we have today. Everybody that was talking about Biden's a sweet man, he's a unifier, he's this, he's that. Dude, we got it's almost a World War III. Categorically, we can't say it, but there's a world going on right now.
Because he's supporting Israel.
But so did Trump, though.
Yeah, but Israel didn't do the attack during Trump.
And you know what Trump said about Netanyahu? Did you hear what Trump said about Netanyahu?
Right.
Can you pull up a clip about what Trump said about Netanyahu, where Trump said, after what happened with Bassem Soleimani, okay, you remember when he took out Bassem Soleimani, who was supposed to be like the next leader, he was the number 2 guy in Iran. He criticized Netanyahu and said he almost didn't trust him because when Netanyahu said he was going to be in it with him, he didn't. So the part about Trump is he doesn't have a problem you criticized Netanyahu? Your daughter's married to Kushner. What are you doing criticizing?
I don't know if that will be the same if it was like more of a massive like military operation that's
maybe
happening
because
right
it
now.
wouldn't happen under him.
Because like when you kill someone, a kind of like repercussion kind of die very quickly. But this is like an ongoing for more than 3 months. So I don't know how would Trump would react.
Are you a sports guy?
Yeah.
What do you like? What sport?
Basketball.
You like basketball?
Yeah.
You know what they say? You know, it's like sometimes like these teams like, you know, Baltimore Ravens or some of the teams like even back in the days, I don't know if you're a Detroit Pistons guy or if you're an old school basketball guy or not. A lot of the guys won because their defense was sick, right? They just had a sick defense. Or you wouldn't come through the middle, or they just were freaking hovering all over. It was so annoying.
Yeah, like the Jordan rules in Pistons.
That's right, the Jordan rules Pistons, right? So, you know, sometimes, you know, the best way to prevent a war is to have the fear you impose on everybody else where you know, defense where it's like, you know what? We're just not even going to get there. I don't even want to do anything under this guy. Do you think at this point, like, for example, case studies, you've been here since 2014, right? November 11, 2014. So do you think 10 years, you've been here 10 years. I came here November 28, 1990, okay? And you come here like, okay, a senior, Bush senior. All right, Clinton, interesting. Okay, boom, junior, GW, interesting. Okay, Obama, there's a Trump, So now you got so many case studies, and then in life, you sit there and you say, socially, these are the issues that matter to me the most, right? You know, if you and I were to start a country together, if you and I started a country together and we got 10 million people, okay, and we have an opportunity to attract another 10 million people to our country, what do you think the mothers and the fathers' number one priority is to come to a new country? Do you think it's Social Security? No. Do you think it's Medicare? No. What do you think is number one? I would say the S word, right? Security and safety, let's just say, okay? A woman wants to feel safe around a man. A woman wants to feel secure around a man, right? If the number one word is the S word, especially the last 3 years, do you think a lot of people in the last 3 years are sitting there reprioritizing their top reason to elect a president as somebody that's going to lower the temperature to not have war? Do you think America's kind of there today after all the mess we've seen the last 3 years?
I still have hope in America. I still like this country this month. I consider this as my own country. I find it like I found a second chance when I left the Middle East. I think America is actually a great country. It has a lot of potential, and it has given a lot of people, including me, a second chance. So I believe in the idea of America. And the fact that I criticize America, I criticize it like we do. We criticize it out of love in order to be better.
Of course.
And what I'm worried about is like over the years, America might have lost that kind of lure because it has been dragged more and more by my military industry complex. And the money has been prioritized in order to spend money on war, spend money on the military.
I agree.
And I think 68% of your budget is taken to the military. And that's not a lot of, that's huge. And many of these military contracts has been exaggerated. In 60 Minutes just shows something that used to cost $30 now costs $3,000, and there's no catch. There's no curb of these prices because they are the one who are making up the prices. Right. So yes, the security is great and all, but security in itself, because North Korea has security, right? It's not about the security. This is education, and there is and the equality and people.
Let me answer this. Hang on one second.
Chris Cuomo.
Mr. Cuomo, we're on a podcast. Why are you calling us, man? We're in the middle of a podcast.
Name dropping.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris.
What are you talking about?
I'm doing a live podcast with this legendary comedian, Bassem Youseff, and we're having a very friendly conversation about, you know, how honestly, I'm a little confused because he's here campaigning on behalf of Trump, and we're listening to him, and I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced.
Why, does he not have a red hat on?
No, he has the shirt on. He's not wearing the hat.
He has MAGA shoes on.
He's got MAGA shoes on and MAGA shirt on. No, but Chris, I'm going to call you afterwards. We're on the live podcast. I'll call you right after this.
Do your thing.
My man, bye.
Hold on, my phone.
So, going back to what
I got John Stewart on the line.
You're
John?
so funny.
Yeah, I'm here with Bassem. We're best friends.
Hold on, Elon.
Okay.
Elon?
Yeah,
No, but the reason why I'm asking this question is because, you know, when you're young, your dad's kicking your ass, challenging you all this stuff. You know what? Look at Joey's dad. They smoke weed together. I wish my dad would smoke weed with me. Look at Bobby's dad. They have drinks together. I wish my dad. Look at us. I wish someone. And later on, you're like, dude, I am so freaking glad that guy was tough on me. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you for this. So for me, I'm sitting there, thinking like a lot of people are sitting around saying, well, look, what is the most important, issue for us to sit there and resolve? I think the last 3 years, people are sitting there saying, look, man, we already went through COVID. That was nasty. It divided America. I think COVID, at least 9/11, we went like this. I think COVID, we went like this. I think maybe you agree with that. We went way like this. Your team vax? Your team vax? You're this, I'm team, you do them? No way. Hey, you team them something? There's a mask shutdown or something? It was all like so divided, right? I think Americans are tired. They're tired of the fights with the family and the relatives, and we have to hate each other and all this other stuff. We can disagree on 4 different policies. But guess what, man? I think America is the greatest country in the world. Still, I think it's the greatest country in the world. Does it have a history of some of the stuff they've done with economic hitman? Yeah, it's documented. Did Eisenhower tell us be careful with this military-industrial complex? Of course. Do you know how many military contractors we had? Not contractors, where they sold products and supplies, military like General Dynamics and Boeing and all these companies. You know how many of these we had 40 years ago? 50-plus companies. You know how many it is today? 5. The 5 bought the other 45.
Wow.
So there used to be so much competition. Now it's come like this.
It's a monopoly.
It's becoming almost a form of a nationalization because politicians are getting so much check from them, the lobbying amount of money they're spending. So they're like, hey, man, we'll start a war. Of course, yeah, we should kill and bomb Iran. Nikki Haley, she sat on the board of Boeing, and no wonder you want another war because these people want another war because they're going to get another contract. That promise was made by Eisenhower as a Republican president that said, be careful with this, where these guys are going to want to go to war. All I'm saying is, I think what this election has done, this last 3 years, I think whether you're left, right, center, I think the most popular thought on every woman, man, father, husband, mother, wife is, guys, I just want to be safe. Mm-hmm. I just want us to be safe. And I think that's at the top of the mind of a lot of people. And I'm so curious as a businessman who likes case studies to see how America's going to react to Afghanistan, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Palestine, potentially China, Taiwan. I am so curious to know how they're going to react to the election this year.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.